Well, hey fellas, we're back, and Thorzak's here. Now, as you can see, got her all cleaned up. You know, that whole trick with the WD-40, just going ahead and spraying it down with WD-40, I mean, it works. It cuts all that crud off of there, and all you gotta do is just wipe it off. There's no real work to it. I cleaned the inside of the cylinders, I just wiped them out to get any gunk out of there, any lubricant and that sort of stuff, powder fouling. Excuse me. But as far as the barrel is concerned, I looked down inside there and I can't really see any, leading. I mean, there's no real leading. I mean, I shot 150 rounds through this and there's no real leading. So that tells me that I got the cylinder throats, perfect. I mean, cylinder throats. I'll tell you what, if you got your eye on a pistol and it's down at the gun shop, take the bullet you're going to shoot, that's sized, okay? When you go down there, open up the wheel and, show the guy that, you cast and you would like to, check the cylinder throat, and make sure that you're getting a good squeeze there. If he's any type of a salesman, he'll let you do it. So, anyway, I wanted to go with that. Okay, I had a couple of hacks that I want to go ahead and kind of bestow upon you here. One thing. Powder dribblers, okay? Come in all kinds of different shapes and sizes. Now, I have the RCBS one. I've had this one forever. I mean, I've had this for ever. Ever and ever. And, you turn it one way and it goes fast, so you can dribble real fast. You turn it the other way and it'll go slow. One thing I didn't like was that it didn't have a very good stable base, It seemed like it could be bumped around a lot. So what I did, since it's metal, is I filled the bottom of it with lead. I just went ahead and I staked in a stake and then just went ahead and staked these sides here, and that plug will stay in there. So, it's got a stable base to it, and, when you're trying to dribble, it stays in one spot, and just, it takes an effort to knock it around. So that's one hack. The next hack that I got, I said I was going to go ahead and do some woodworking project. Well, here's the project. I went down to Home Depot, and I went down there and I bought a plank board of, it's either maple or walnut, one or the other. I think it's walnut. And it ended up running me 18 bucks. I mean, it was pretty expensive, when I checked out. And when I got in the car, I was going to go ahead and drive off and go home and get set up and start filming and everything, because that's what I needed. And then I started thinking to myself, I said, hey, let's see if we can do this a different way. And, the easy way. And, I'm going to tell you something. The woodworking project that I was talking about isn't really a woodworking project at all. Anybody can do this, and it's very simple. Now, I know that Timothy Robinson has a lot of woodworking, tools. He has, a lot of shop tools, and he knows his way around some layout and, doing different types of projects and that sort of stuff with wood. And I used to be the same way. I used to make birdhouses and squirrel feeders and you name it. I'd make little boxes and all kinds of stuff, And I kind of got out of that, I haven't replaced my table saw since I got divorced, so that was one of the things that I had to get rid of a lot of my gear that I had as shop equipment, Hey, you gotta do what you gotta do, So, anyway, what I wanted to show you guys is a real simple hack. Is you guys just go down to, go down to Walmart and pick yourself out a cutting board. And then you mount, you go ahead and mount your powder measure right there. And then you can just sit here in the house where it's warm and just, do your powder measure stuff. You got your scale here and everything like that. You just pass the cases underneath, fill them up. As you're growing, you can drop drop some on the scale and check your scale. And you're sitting right here and you're doing the whole thing, and you're not standing out in the garage in the cold and screwing around that way. By the way, this powder measure right here, this is a very old powder measure. This was the very first powder measure I ever had, and this is a RCBS Duofloat. It was made by O-House. And what it has is that it has two chambers. It has one for rifle, and then it has one for pistol on this side. So when you want to switch them, you just flip it over and put it back in there and put the measure thing back in and tighten it down, and away you go. The one bad thing about this powder measure, though, is the hopper is made out of plastic, and this cone part right here, you got to be very careful not to drop this. If you drop it, you're not going to get a replacement. They haven't made this since like 1972. So another thing too, a stand, these are really nice, to have. However, you can make one of these out of wood. I mean, that's not a big deal. I mean, you can make something like this out of wood that will, you do what you want it to. You can go ahead and just bore the right diameter hole that you need, with like a Forstner bit or something like that in your, in your drill press. And you can fix it up, and you can lacquer it and stain it and whatever you want to do. You can make it real fancy, or you can go do like I did and just go on eBay and keep your eye open and see if you can find one of these. Sometimes guys are selling a scale and a powder measure stand and all kinds of other stuff, and you can just kind of, hey, I'm interested in this, I'm interested in this, and I'm interested in that. How much for the whole thing, boom, you make a deal right there online. So that's how I got this one. So I got two of these. One's attached to my bench out there that has my Uniflow, and then I have this one here that I can just, keep right here on the bench and do my powder measure stuff. And for pistol, that's fine. That's fine. When you're doing load development, pistol, it's fine. Just, there you go. I mean, and not only that, it's portable. You just take the top out. And that's it. You set it off to the side, you got a little shelf you keep it on, and then that's it. You're done. I pulled an Elvis ammo there. I've been watching all these guys online making fun of Elvis, and yet I turn around and do the same damn thing. Yeah, but you really got to be careful. You really got to be careful of these powder measures, because once they crack, that's it. They're done. And like I said, you won't get another one. So anyway, that's my handy hack. Also, I want to give a shout out to New York Reloader. He's kind of behind enemy lines. He's going to come up with some, different, videos and that sort of thing he's been working on. I think he has a very worthy channel. I think he's very knowledgeable, and so, in the things that he's pursuing. So, check him out. Go ahead and subscribe to him. I mean, he seems to be, quite knowledgeable about, what he's trying to, achieve. Also, while I went and dug the old Duoflow out, I found an old photograph. Take a look at that guy, huh? That was me back in the day, man. That was down at Fort Lewis, actually. Yep. Fort Lewis, man. Yeah. Right there. That was some fun times, guys. Yeah, this is a 600-yard prone. Yep. Met some really good people out there. Tell you what, you want to learn how to shoot? Start shooting match. I'm telling you that right now. And iron sighted. You know, go into service rifle, go into service pistol. You want to start shooting match? Those are the places where you're going to learn from the best. Those guys have a desire to do the best. And what you're going to be able to pick up from those guys is the best. So, you know, that's my best advice right there. Anybody who has that sort of desire, I mean, there are other channels out there, and I'm not going to mention any of them, but, you know, they have these real fancy rifles with scopes on them, and it's got all these dials and, you know, all this stuff, and, you know, you got to bring out a book, you know, do all your calculations in a calculator or whatever, or you got some fancy thing that figures it all out for you. That's all fine, you know, and that's cool, you know, it's cool. But when you get behind, you know, a service rifle and you have to dial it in, and, you know, you're reading the wind, you know, you're doing all that out there, you're learning by experience, you know, and you're not in a hurry to take a shot that is not in your best interests, you know, because you really are working with a minimum of what you have. And so you have to be aware, and I think you become more sensitive about what's going on with rifle, in service rifle, than you do with, say, match rifle or shooting F-class. Nothing against those guys, you know, nothing at all. But I think service rifle really does teach you an awful lot in the way of discipline. So anyway, that's kind of my take on it. So anyway, I'm going to get the Dillon set up to make some 44. I'm going to crank out some N320 with the, you know, Keith, you know, 240 grain bullet. I'm going to give that another crack. We already know that Unique shoots well. That's a good standby. I'm going to tell you what, I never got accuracy like that with these bullets. You know, I mean, I got very good accuracy, even though I was only shooting 15 yards, which is really not really a long ways away. But, you know, like with our range right now, getting on the 25-yard range, and that's what they won't allow you to, you know, bench your gun, that sort of thing. So it's not really a good place to go if you're trying to get 25-yard accuracy and sight your gun in. And so, you know, it's kind of a waste of time for me to go ahead and go out there and try to, you know, offhand all that stuff unless I really know that the load is good. So anyway, well, I'll tell you what, this is Thorzax, and we're going to be signing out, and we'll see you in the next video. And like I said, New York Reloader, go ahead and check him out. He's got a small channel on YouTube, and he's just starting out. So, you know, he's got some pretty interesting stuff on there. So check him out. This is Thorzax, I'm signing out.